Okay. Yeah, all right, man. Uh, Thanks for coming out, and appreciate you taking the time to come talk to me about it. Um,
Thanks for having me.
so we're live now, and I mean, let's cut right to the chase. The From what I understand from a couple of your videos is, and I heard a lot of your videos where you talk about, well, let me put it this way: the thrust of your argument that you make when it comes to the right to travel is that there's there's the public side and the private side.
Right.
My question would be, where did you get this idea of the public and the private side?
Um. Okay. So, um, you have, we have a republic, we have a democracy, and those are two jurisdictions. One of them deals with the public, one of them deals with the private. Um, I was watching one of your calls. You had a few of the sovereign citizens on. They were talking about
Mm-hmm.
birth certificate, whatnot. So you have, the certificate of live birth,
Mm-hmm.
which is the private side. You have the certificate of live birth, signifying the birth of a living man, which is the private side, and you have the birth certificate, which is the creation of the legal fiction. All caps name, whatever you want to call it. So it's essentially everybody has a built-in limited liability corporation, so to speak, to you know um, engage in commerce with.
Okay, so
Does that make sense?
well,
So
I've
so
heard that
so the
arc.
public
Well,
and
that
private is
go ahead, go
so
ahead.
so the public would be like the democracy. The public is when you're acting in public, in an official capacity, so to speak. And then the private is, when we're in our homes, when we're not engaged in a commercial activity, when we're not engaged with our legal entity in some type of contractual obligation or some type of contract with a city, state, local, county, municipality sort of thing. So like what I'm contracting in the public when I step into my rig and I
Right.
clock in and I accept compensation for my use of the road. I'm acting in the public at that time. Now when I'm just in my now when I park my rig at the yard and
Uh-huh.
I clock out, I go off duty. I mean, I log out everything. I'm off duty. I hop in my pickup. I'm now on the private side. I'm using the public way, that sort of thing, but I'm doing it as a private individual, not a driver. So, like in one of my videos, I've explained, look, every driver needs a driver's license. Officers have jurisdiction over drivers.
Okay.
Officers don't have jurisdiction over a quote unquote man. And that's one thing that I haven't kind of touched on in a lot of my videos is the title, because a driver is a title, attorney, like you act as an attorney for your profession, correct?
Uh-huh.
I do believe you said you were an
Yes, I
attorney,
am.
correct?
Correct.
Okay, so when acting in the public, you do so as an attorney. Does that make sense? That's
N-
your title, attorney. You hold that title. To hold that title, you're required a license, just as a driver would be to hold that title. A sheriff's
But
deputy is a title, senator is a title.
right, but the problem that we're having here, the disconnect that we're having here is and I assume you're going to disagree with this. The the common understanding of the term driver means anybody who's using a car on the road, regardless of whether they're using it for commercial or private use. And so my
Okay.
question from me to you is, where do you get the idea that your view of the public and private
My
side
right, where does my
is
right come into play?
actual? My question
Say
is
that again
whether
one more time.
my question to you is whether or not that's actually that your understanding of public versus private is actually the case, because I can provide you with several cases and situations where people have made similar arguments as you have when defending themselves against traffic tickets or what have you, and every single time they fail. And so my question to
Right.
you be from me to you uh, is there something that they don't know, or is there a conspiracy here
Yes.
to
Yes.
hide the truth from the people?
Both. Both. So like I was going to touch on, like I don't get to around the titles, driver, whatnot. So there's also a title of man. Okay.
Okay.
Where I can act, as driver. I can engage in commerce, acting as driver. I'm a licensed driver. I can go out, engage commerce, do business on the road, and hold the position and act as driver. Now, when I clock out, okay, I'm not acting as driver. When I'm pulled over, it's like they're pulling over a man. Now, there are laws, okay, there are statutes on the books that require a driver to be licensed, but there's no law on the books requiring a man
But
to be licensed.
the problem is a statute is a form of law.
So, um, like so that's you're saying that you're throwing the law. The
No,
statute is a statute.
no, a statute is a type of law. A statute is a type of law passed by the legislature. If that's not a law, then what is a law to you? If not, it's not something passed by the legislature.
Okay, so the law of gravity. There's natural law, the law of growth. Those types of laws. There's
That's a
thou shalt
scientific
not
thing.
murder. That's a law. When like getting um on one of the videos, talking about an injured party. Um, um, when someone's being harmed, like murder, theft, rape, robbery, that's when you're breaking the law. When if I don't have my seatbelt on, I'm not breaking the law. Now, if I'm driving and I don't have my seatbelt on, now I've not lived up to the terms and conditions of the contract. Now, when I stepped into the role of driver and accepted the title, accepted the compensation to do business on the road, there are certain terms and conditions that apply to drivers. Okay. Now, if I'm not wearing my seatbelt, I'm going over the speed limit, I don't use my blinker, I've dishonored my contract and have to pay the fees. Now, um, getting back to the when I step out and am acting as man, again, there are no laws, there are no statutes on the book requiring a man to be licensed.
Except that
Only
there
drivers.
is. Except the legislature has passed them because
Well, can I
the
see it?
definition
Can you show me something on the
the
book?
definition of driver has no condition. At least here in New Jersey, and I imagine in every other state, there's the defining driver has no condition placed on it or qualifier, I should say, that requires it to be the person to be using a car in a commercial capacity in order to require them to have a license.
Right, a driver.
Right. Again, a driver
A
is
driver.
as a person, as a natural person. It's not a natural person who is engaging in commerce. It's a natural person. It's a driver
Okay,
who is in control of the vehicle. Therefore, they're subject to the
okay.
law, regardless of whether they're using the vehicle for public or commercial usage. Now, if you're saying
Okay,
that
so it
these states
applies to
can't do that,
driver, and they're saying that a driver is a natural person.
yes,
Okay, so did I say that I was a driver or a natural person, or did I say I was a man? I'm acting as
you
a simple man.
you are a human being. You are a natural
No,
person
I'm
in
not
the
a
eyes of the
human
law.
being.
You are a
I'm not a
nat. You
human
are.
being.
You're. Then what are
I'm a
you?
man.
Are you a
I'm a
robot?
man. I'm a
Are you a
man.
cyborg?
I am a man.
What? So a woman is not. It's separate too. Is
So,
this separated by
so,
sex?
okay, so you have you in mankind comes man and wombed man or woman. I am man. God created man.
Okay, but I hate to break it to you, but under the eyes of the law, you fit the definition of a
So
human
so
being, aka
so
natural
in
person.
in the eyes of the law,
Yeah.
okay, so in the eyes of the law, the U.S. Supreme Court, has upheld the existence of God.
Uh,
Okay, on the side of the courthouse, it says "In God We Trust." When you walk into the building, it's putting it on notice. In God We Trust. You put your hand on the Bible when you take the stand.
okay.
So in so um you have, these statutes. You have government as a whole, and you have government created by man. So God creates man, man creates government. Okay, government's role is to protect man and man's property. It's not protect drivers. It's not protect your car, your house,
No, except for the
anything like that.
Constitution says it's for the Constitution has the 10th Amendment. The 10th Amendment relates to the states, and the states pass laws for the health, safety, and general welfare of its citizens, and it's of people who reside there. And in every single court case that has been challenged, that applies to everybody, regardless of man or whatever you want to define yourself.
What you're saying. So who's everybody?
Everybody, you, me, human beings.
It doesn't say everybody. Show it to me. I want to see it right now.
So
you're just saying everybody.
I'm sorry. You're the one who's saying that you don't have to abide by the laws that everybody else has to abide by, simply because you proclaim yourself as man and simply declare that man cannot be dictated to by the state. You keep saying that. I'm just saying that. This is what you're just stating that without any. No. Hold on a second.
Laws all day long requiring drivers to do 100 different things. You'll never find one that says man has to, or man is required to, or man has to do anything.
The laws don't have to say that in order for it to apply to you, regardless of what you want to call yourself. And that's the problem we're having here. In the eyes of the law and of every normal person out there, you look like a human being to me. You like a person under the layman's definition of the term of the everyday usage. Therefore, you're going to be subject to the laws that govern the behavior and welfare of persons, whether you like it or not. And that's the problem that we're having here.
Okay. So from Ballantyne's Law Dictionary, human being defined, sea monster. Okay, there's a whole bunch of other definitions.
Okay, so what from? Listen, I don't care what a law dictionary says. I care about what the legislature defines their terms as. Because we're talking about what the law who is subject to the law, right? That's the fundamental issue we're having here. And I'm going to rely on the definitions that our legislature prescribes, and I'm going to rely on the case law. Yes, I'm relying on the law.
Okay.
Whether or not I know you keep on wanting to distinguish statutes from the law as how you describe it, but again, we're talking about the layman's understanding of the term. Statutes are law. Codes are simply laws that have been organized. Presidential opinions in our judiciaries are also forms of law recognized under the United States because we are under a common law system. So those are all forms. Those are all forms of law. And
so statutes aren't common law. Statutes are
right. We're a mixed. We are a
legal
mixed
entity.
Right. No. The United States is
the laws aren't written down,
except for all the criminal laws that have been passed. And I'll tell you that in New Jersey specifically, that New Jersey, when they reformed their constitution, they explicitly state that all the common law crimes in New Jersey have been null and void, and you can only be charged with a crime under the statutes. So are you going to say that because all New Jersey's laws on murder, rape, and burglary are now statutes or codified, that you don't have to abide by the laws of New Jersey that dictate around murder?
Can you show me that? Can you show me where it says that?
Absolutely.
So, but here's the thing. So it says common laws. Common laws are exactly that: murder, rape, theft, these types of things. Now
Right.
what they're saying is they're codified. So
They're
now
all codified.
it,
Yes.
like, let's say somebody comes and murders my brother, um now, and instead, like, for like the common law, like I'm talking about, how we don't rely on the legal industry, we don't rely on an attorney, we don't rely on prosecutors. We prosecute the case ourselves. We bring the
How?
man, the woman,
Who? When
by
has this ever been
opening
a
our own,
thing?
since the courthouse has been opened.
When when was the last time people when they had a legal issue that they duked it out with themselves back when duels were a thing?
No, 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 no. That's what ended the duels. Okay, with the Thomas Jefferson, Aaron Burr incident. And I was like, no, you don't go out, you don't do it with pistols no more. You take it into the courtroom. You have a difference that you can't handle in the private. You go into the courtroom, you assemble a jury, and you duke it out in the courtroom. And a perfect example is that that show. I think it was the feuding family.
The Hatfields and McCoys.
The Hatfields and McCoys. There was they did a mini series on that. Um, I'm not sure if you recall that miniseries. It
Oh,
was a
it was
good
on the
series.
History Channel.
After the Civil War or whatnot, the families had a difference over a pig.
Okay.
Okay, one was saying, "Hey, that's my pig." The notch in the ear, blah 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 blah. Came back now. I don't remember. One Hatfield had it. McCoy saying it's his, and they couldn't figure it out. So they went to the courthouse, brought in a jury, and settled it within like 2 minutes. And that's how a common law court works. It's not with attorneys, it's not with prosecutors.
Except
It's, I stand up and I got a claim against that man, bring him forward, present your case to the jury, he presents his, and then they come and make
I I
a
know I
ruling.
don't know where you I don't know where you're getting this invention of this form of common law coming out of coming from, because as you said, the Hatfields and McCoys were in the 1800s. There were lawyers and
Right.
attorneys
So
long
you're
beforehand,
telling me
and
that,
there was
you're
a
telling
common
me,
law, and England and the colonies operate under the common law so many different times with attorneys enforcing laws under the common law long before that. So you trying to distinguish that all of a sudden because there are attorneys now, their attorneys don't operate under the common law?
no.
Since
What I
when?
what I'm saying is the attorneys operate under the statutes. They operate under the statutory laws. They don't
That
operate
is
under
absolutely
the
false,
common laws of the land.
dude.
What's
That is
that?
absolutely false because anytime before the common laws were abolished and the states established,
Abolished.
yes, and I have the text for you right here for New Jersey, by the way. Attorneys would, so if somebody was charged with a crime, they would they would be brought before the magistrate, and the prosecutor, who was an attorney, would say, I am bringing this person under the common law crime of murder. How else do you adjudicate a murder trial without attorneys, without somebody as a defense attorney or as a
So,
prosecuting attorney?
okay, so like I was saying, if somebody murders my brother, I know who it is, and I've got a claim on that man for, the loss of family member. So what I'm saying is it doesn't matter what it is. If you've been wronged by another man, you don't have to pick up the phone and call the police and say, this person did something, and then, have them go to court, and then get your, court date, and have, get attorneys and have them represent you, and
Yeah,
argue the fact for you and all that kind of stuff. You can just go down to the courthouse, file your claim, bring the man in yourself, and prosecute the man yourself, and have him stand there. He's not going to be able to get an attorney. He's
yeah,
got to
that's
answer for himself,
vigilantism.
speak for himself. What's
Yeah,
that?
you're defining vigilantism here.
Excuse me. That is the parks, courthouses, libraries, roads all belong to the people.
So wait.
I can block. I can.
You
I
were
can.
telling
I
me
can call the court out.
common law. You were telling me the common law allowed you to say, I think that son of a bitch murdered my wife. I can physically take him. I can round up a posse, physically take him before a magistrate, say, hey, I think this guy killed my girl, and then you think that that's prosecuted like that?
All this up. I never said any of that.
You said I
You're
don't have.
recording
You
all this.
said
I
you
never
did.
said
You
any of
said
that.
you didn't have to call anybody. You could just bring him in to the court, and then you can make him answer for his crime.
Okay, let me clarify. So I physically won't go down and physically handcuff him.
So then, who are you going to get to do that?
So
The cops?
when prosecuting a case, so that's it's a the writ of mandamus, I believe, is what is used. So if I'm prosecuting a case myself and I file a claim against another man or a woman, you're an attorney. What initially happens? I go down to the courthouse, I file the claim, and then what happens? I have to serve the other side.
No,
Correct?
in a criminal action, the prosecutor takes over.
Listen. There's no criminal action.
When somebody's killed,
criminal action. I said claim.
Then
I said, okay.
Then distinguish between civil and criminal, because those are two completely different procedures.
Okay, so that criminal courts, criminal that's just a word made up, like sovereign citizen. They're all civil.
Okay? No, oh my God, that's so fucking wrong.
Okay, so
I can give you I can point you to the New Jersey rules of civil procedure and the New Jersey rules of criminal procedure.
Okay, you're filing a civil case. You're filing a civil case against another man. Okay, so I filed my case. The other party is served. Okay, I have to serve the other side. Okay, once the other side is served, they have 21 days to answer back. Okay, once 21 days hasn't gone by, and actually the 22nd day, you can go in, set your court date, get a court date set, and if they don't show up, that becomes a default judgment goes in. If you don't want to default, you can.
You are missing so many goddamn procedures. It's not even funny.
I'm not following the legal entities.
Yeah, you're following an arcane, arcane and unjust procedure here that allows you to say that you could just send something out and not go through any sort of oversight or any sort of due process to the other party, and then you could say, hey judge, I never got any response from the guy for in 21 days. Please file default judgment. Can I go ahead and show you New Jersey's
honestly, listen, it doesn't. I don't.
I can share here. I can show you my screen.
Listen.
Okay. Common law crimes. NJSA 2C:1-5. Common law crimes are abolished and no conduct constitutes an offense unless the offense is defined by this code or another statute of the state. They're in black and white. Now, does that mean all common law has been abolished in New Jersey? No, of course not. Common law rules of contract still apply, and other forms of common law still exist in New Jersey. But when it comes to crimes, when it comes to criminal actions, they have been abolished. There, stop sharing.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to...
Okay. So this archaic form of law that you're saying is, if I've been wronged, if someone's done something wrong, damaged property, whatever it is, the first step isn't to run down to the court clerk and file your claim. First step is to try to resolve the difference, with the other side privately. And before you ever take it into the courthouse.
And what if the other side says go fuck yourself? Okay. Then what?
Exactly. So if the other side says go fuck yourself, well then you file the claim and say, hey, I'm filing a claim against you. You've got 21 days to answer. Okay, so we show up into court 22nd days, or 22nd day, after the 21st day, we both show up into court, assemble a jury, and present our facts to the jury.
Okay.
The jury then comes back with, because in the common law way of doing things, the judge is just there to sit there and blow the whistle if somebody jumps around, acting out of line at court. That's just, he's there to bear witness. The judge is the jury. They're the final judge. They're the ones judging.
You're right. There are bench trials. There are. So yes, that is a thing. That's still a thing in our current system. Again, I don't know. You just said the judge was the jury or the final ruler, but but notwithstanding, like I said, even during the colonial era, for some criminal actions, you did not get a trial by jury in every single instance. I hope you understand that.
What meaning? Like
for the Supreme Court ruled that for crimes where the maximum penalty was 6 months in prison, you did not have the right to a jury trial.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. So.
Okay, so we kind of you kind of got away with it, but again, to go back to the issue of driving and traveling. I mean, do you have any examples of where somebody has successfully made this argument in court?
Yeah, I was trying to get him on the phone right now. I was trying to get him on the phone. But yeah, there's and just when I'm doing my paperwork, in court, I know damn well they know what I know, they know what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's, like even, and it's happening over here in Oregon. Like people are starting to figure out like all these laws, all these statutes, all, like the city of Vancouver, charging me with, driving while suspended, I don't know where I have it here.
I thought you said you had a valid license.
I do. I have a valid license. But Washington, there was a fine from years ago that was owed, and so they Washington, said, well, if you come over here, we're not going to give you, your license till you take care of this fine. So, and that happened before 2017, where I got a letter from California saying, hey, Washington's notified us of this thing you got, so effective this date, which is 2 weeks in the future, if you don't resolve it with Washington, your license will be suspended. Well, it was this thing I couldn't resolve because it was, I don't know, some mixed up. I had to have actually the two agencies communicate to work out the difference, which was hard to do. But anyways, finally got the license back. Washington's not had a hold since 2017. This happened before in 2018. I was like, okay, I'll just, I paid the fine, took some little slap on the wrist, but it gave me a driving while suspended on my record. It's like, dude, this is honestly bullshit because I've got the valid driver's license. California gave me the privilege. Okay, it's been granted by California throughout. Now, if Washington wants to suspend my privilege, they have to get California to do it. Yeah. Washington can't just say, oh, it's suspended here because of this, and we're just going to say it's suspended. It's not suspended unless California suspends the privilege.
Well,
and they've done it before, but now they're just like, oh, well, we don't have to send it. He'll get a ticket, and then we'll just run him through the system. We'll give him the slap on the wrist. He'll pay the fine. It's just a money system. Well, they don't give a shit if I.
Well, the problem is that the states are going to respect the others' determinations, and if that one state says that you're under a suspended license,
right, which means when California gets the notice, they're going to send it to me and say, hey, we're giving you 2 weeks, effective 2 weeks, because the thing is, Washington sent the notice. Washington, it was suspended in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. but they sent the notice. California didn't suspend the privilege. If California didn't suspend the privilege, I have the privilege. It doesn't matter what any other state says because Washington never gave me a privilege to suspend.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. It's good that you mentioned the Washington State because they're the ones who suspended your license. Is that correct? At a
Well,
time.
they didn't suspend it. I don't have a Washington license.
Oh, but they found you that you were caught driving on a suspended license, even if the license wasn't in Washington.
Right.
Okay, because I was gonna say I have a case here, Spokane versus Portland. It's a Washington appellate case where it seems the individual was making the exact same argument that you were, particularly that she says that, I'm quoting, Ms. Port claims that the state licensing statute only applies to commercial operators of motor vehicles. She claims since she was not engaged in the business of transportation, she did not violate the act. An unambiguous statute is not subject to construction. There is no need to resort to dictionary definitions, vita, and then a string cite. An unambiguous term is one that is susceptible to more than one meaning. The statute in question, RCW 4620-021, reads, quote, no person may drive any motor vehicle upon a highway in this state unless the person has a valid driver's license issued under the provisions of this chapter, end quote. Ms. Porter's argument that this provision requires a license only for those operating commercial vehicles is clearly without merit. RCW 46-04-370 eliminates any alleged ambiguity with respect to the violation here because the section defines an operator or driver as every person who drives or is in actual physical control of the vehicle, end quote. Now the only your issue here is that you're going to try and define person as not you. And I'm going to say that you're going to have a very, very tough time convincing a judge that you're not a person.
So yeah, it is going to be a tough time. That's just it. It is going to be a tough time. But that's I don't know if you've heard the name. I think I've mentioned him a couple of videos, but Carl Lentz.
Yes, and I've seen all of his failings in failed cases. Yes, where he does the whole I man. Yes, he does the I man rhetoric in his opinions. And as a matter of fact, I have a collection of most of his cases where he's failed. People. Yes, and also cases where people have used this similar language and had failed miserably. Yes, so I am very well aware of Carl Lentz.
Okay. So Carl Lentz himself has tremendous success.
Oh, I just told you that he's failed both in his own personal cases and is helping others.
He's tried to help a lot of people, and there's been a lot of people that have failed. He's even talked about those, but I was just talking to him the other night, and he's, because like I said about what's happening in Portland, and what's like it's going to get really crazy because like a lot of drug dealers and stuff, like he's taught some people this where, these stores, these grocery stores, people can walk into these stores and take whatever the hell they want off the shelves, and there's nothing that can be done. And I don't, people, I swear they're hearing this. I'm not telling you to do this. Okay. But it all comes back to these legal fictions, Walmart being a legal fiction. Nobody actually owns that merchandise. So what it's going to come to is
what?
Nobody actually owns merchandise. Everything's on credit. I know it sounds stupid.
Come on, man. Come on. Are you fucking with me?
There's not one man alive that can step into that courtroom, swear on a Bible that that's his TV, and they suffered a loss.
Yes, they can. Walmart has an agent. They have attorney. They're called attorneys. They hire an attorney who represents Walmart, and they can. Oh my God!
Yes, he took it, but nobody can claim ownership of the television.
Absolutely, they can. Absolutely, they can.
Okay, so
Walmart, are you actually fucking kidding me? Are you actually saying that Walmart, because Walmart does not own the TV that it sells, that somebody can walk in and take it and nobody can claim ownership of it? Are you fucking serious?
Is Walmart going to come to court? Is Walmart going to come to court?
Yes. No. Yes. No. Their attorneys are. Their attorneys are.
Their attorneys don't own the TV that was taken.
But the attorneys represent Walmart and they represent their interests. That's the whole fucking point of my profession, dude.
Right. Okay. All right. So Walmart is a legal entity and has no standing against a man.
Yes, it does.
Only other legal entities.
Bullshit.
Listen, so what's going to happen is you're not people like what's happening now with Walmart, you know, the grocery delivery. Eventually here in the next couple of years, you're not going to be walking in stores. It'll be like South Compton where like, you know, you can't even walk into a convenience store.
Yeah, try it. Please. Yeah, you know what? Please try it. Go ahead tomorrow. Record yourself walking the fucking Walmart. Take out a 4K TV. Get arrested and try and make that in court. Please do that, man, and see what happens.
No. Okay. So no, and I told people don't go out and do that. Okay. Don't. So
you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You're saying that Walmart can never make a claim against somebody who walks out with a TV, yet you're still saying telling people not to do that.
Are going straight in the store, wheeling it right out, going right over just a block away to their homeless encampment with 8 or 9 shopping carts of food, and they know there's nothing they can't do anything to them because these people go into they arrest a homeless guy, and he goes in with some phony name or whatnot, doesn't even give a name. After 72 hours, they got to cut you loose. If you don't answer to a name, if you don't answer the name, you don't give mugshot fingerprints, 72 hours, you're done. You're out.
Bullshit. They gotta charge you 72 hours. If you are under arrested by the cops, if you are under arrest by the cops for stealing, and you say that you say silent, they're gonna be able to get your fingerprints and your identity at one point or another. You have to
consent. If they say, "Here, come on, let's take your fingerprints," you walk over there and give fingerprints. But if like, "Oh, let's take your fingerprints," well, you can't take anything from me. He's like, "I'm not giving my finger."
Oh,
you know.
They can.
If
the cops have probable cause that you are the person who robbed them, they'll be able to take your fingerprints regardless of whether you want them to or not.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit on your story that a homeless guy was able to take in cans of food and walk out and get away with it scot-free because allegedly Stop and Shop or Walmart couldn't make a claim against him. I'm sorry. I'm calling bullshit on that. But I am shocked at this idea that you think that because a legal entity you can't sue anybody other than besides other legal entity. That means that anybody has free reign to steal from anybody. Yeah. I could just steal cable from Comcast right now. I could just take an HDR set and hook it up, and then they can't do anything about me. And you actually fucking believe this?
Look, man.
I mean, I'm sorry. At this point, I have to feel like you're trolling me here.
I'm trolling you?
Yes.
I'm trolling you? I didn't come to I was invited to your site, dude. I'm not trolling you, bro. I was invited to come hang out with you, man.
I have to wonder, man.
Because I'm not messing with you, man. I know how crazy it sounds. Dude, that's why when I was so intrigued by this, I'm like, dude, what the hell am I hearing? I'm like, what are you saying to me?
And it didn't allow you to stop and think about how fucking absurd it is, even for a half second? That you think that you could walk out to a Nissan dealership and drive off with a car and they can't do anything about it?
I mean, yeah, you can just go, you can drive off.
Oh, wow.
I mean, what is the car not going to roll off the showroom floor because your intentions are bad?
And you're going to get in trouble for it. That's the problem. That's the point. You could steal the car. You're going to get in trouble for it because it doesn't belong to you.
Start understanding how the law actually operates. Okay, we're going to be able to sidestep all these statutes, and it's going to start getting really crazy around here. I kind of thought it was going to be, a different way. People started learning the common law, started being more responsible, and cars telling me no, dude, I'm telling you right now, it's going to get crazy around here because people are already starting to use a lot of these tactics where and one of the guy was saying it how I was saying on the video how I don't recall his name, but he said when they start barking around orders, start giving orders, we can present them with a bill. So as a driver sitting in the driver's seat at the scales, trooper orders me out of the truck, orders me, me to give them all, logbook, all that kind of stuff. There's no coming back saying, hey, I followed your orders, here's a bill. But as a man, you can't order one man can't order a man to do.
Yes, they can.
Another thing without fair and just compensation.
No,
he can, but
bullshit. No. Pennsylvania versus Mims. Pennsylvania versus Mims. A police officer asking you to get out of the car, bang a law, telling you to, giving you a lawful order to get out of the car. You can do that.
Lawful orders, they get legal orders. But anyway, so
police same
officer,
shit, different smell, dude. Legal and lawful are the same thing. Do not even try with that distinction bullshit.
So here a police officer is another title. So a police officer, you can pull the man out of the police officer uniform, say, hey man, hold him accountable as a man, not police officer. That's what people don't understand.
If you're gonna disobey a lawful order, that's gonna be on your problem.
Excuse me?
No, go ahead. I interrupted you first. Go ahead.
I didn't hear you. I actually didn't hear you.
I'm just saying that if you're going to disobey a lawful order, that's going to be on your ass, and you're going to see whether or not that you can hold them accountable as a man and not a police officer.
Okay, so all right, so I'm telling you right now, more and more people are having success with this, and they're realizing, look, the city of Vancouver is charging me. I didn't do anything. City of Vancouver. City of Vancouver is an actual legal entity. It's not the land mass that makes up, all the trees, the river, and the people. That's not what the city of Vancouver or the state of Washington is. They're referring to a legal entity. So how's a legal entity coming after me?
Through the courts.
It's another man or it's another woman
through the courts. Through the courts. Through their representation, through their attorneys. Again, whether you like it or not, attorneys exist, and attorneys can represent legal fictions, and they can still hold you accountable in court.
They can't represent a man.
Yes, I can. I can represent a man. What the hell are you talking about?
No, you represent defendants.
Yeah, same shit. A defendant can be a person, it could be a corporation, it could be an association, it could be a nonprofit. A defendant can be a city.
You don't have to be a defendant.
Huh?
So what I'm saying is a defendant, a man can be a defendant. Okay, a man can be a driver. Okay, I don't have to accept these titles.
Okay. Whether or not you accept them is not the court's problem.
So, right.
I mean, that again, this is you're trying, you and Carl Lentz are trying this semantics game, and the problem is that it hasn't worked. Ever. Never ever. And unless Carl can show me a court case where somebody has won on the merits using his tactics, I'm going to call bullshit, because I have found way too many of his own personal cases where he has failed, and failed miserably. Everything of the I-man, these trespassers, I am the against aggressors, bullshit. Every single court opinion that has written about it has called it gibberish and nonsensical and have dismissed it outright.
I don't know where I went. I had a picture of where he helped a woman, get her. Oh, I thought. Oops. Oh shoot. He just sent a message. I didn't get it. He had problems. So yeah, he's not taking calls tonight. But maybe I'll set it up to where I can get him on, and we can do another discussion with him on, because I know he does explain it a lot better than I do. But he's still there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. So, but
Okay.
yeah, I'm just that's where I'm at. Like I'm a driver. Look, I act as a driver, but there's this thing called citizenship. I love it. It's great. Gives me my job, gives me my bank account, there's a lot of things that I benefit from it, but I also get to jump out of that and act here in the Republic and just be simple man, go about my business, not be interfered with. And what I want to see is, because my whole thing is like look, I think the government spends way too much. Okay. I do believe that, government should be cut down. There should be more control, over our, own personal private lives.
Well, I mean that's
You know,
that's
I
a separate issue. I mean that's a separate issue entirely, and I mean
right.
we might end up finding some agreement on that level, but that's not really what the topic is.
No, it's not. But what I'm saying is what I'd like to see it come down to is, look, I'm a driver, I act as driver. When I'm out there getting paid, when I'm out there accepting the compensation, I'm under the taxable regulated system. Okay. But when I'm acting as man, I'm free. I'm free, man. You can't tax what's free. If I'm over working for Caseburg Trucking, making 25, 30 bucks an hour, look, you put a tax on that all day long. Okay. I accept that. I agree with that, and I accept the terms and conditions. Now, when I clock out, leave me the hell alone. I'm going about my business. I'm not bothering anybody. I haven't hit nobody. It's like, you want to know who I am? Here's who I am. I'm not some mass murderer. I'm not, crazy guy with warrants and all that kind of stuff. I have no goods. I have no passengers. I'm off duty. Okay, here you go. Have a nice night. All right. Thank you for your service, officer. And then go about my business.
And the problem is that that's
like,
right. I get that's what you believe. A problem is that's not what the law is about. And
but the laws govern the legal entities, though. These statutes are for the legal entities,
again,
not for.
and again, that sort of argument has never been held up when made in court, whether or not you've been in it, whether or not it's a traffic stop or whether or not it's a court trying to defend your ticket that you just got. It has never worked. Nobody buys it. And that either tells you that it's either a grand conspiracy against you or that's not how the law actually works. And I'm going to go with a simpler explanation and say that that's not how the law works.
It's a capitalist country, and this legal industry is just capitalizing on our lack of knowledge of the system. That's what it is. I'm just trying to understand the system more, to navigate through it and not be taken advantage of from it, type of thing.
Again, the merits of seatbelt laws, the merits of the other forms of traffic laws is
if I don't want to wear my seatbelt, there's no law that you can require a man, to wear a freaking seatbelt. A driver,
well, except that the state, in all of its good wisdom, says that you got to wear a seatbelt. And I hate to break it to you, but it applies to you as an operator, driver, a person, man, whatever you want to call yourself. The law is interpreted to mean that it's applying to everybody, regardless of how they're functioning as they're using their vehicle. And I know that's where you disagree. That's where you're saying that no, they don't. But I'm saying is, you could say that it doesn't work like that all you want, but when it's argued in court, it's never worked. And where else are you going to say that that it's the way
it's never worked is to say that you have knowledge of every court case out there that's taken place.
If you could find me a case on the merits
on the public record, you got to witness that yourself or talk to somebody who's had success. And I have talked to people that have had success.
Well, that's the problem. I don't care about hearsay. I care about published opinions that I have of it failing. And in about, I don't know, 15 states now or more. I have a folder that's dedicated to that.
Yeah, there was because he was he took a shot with a woman, and it says, yeah, it was cold, wet, rainy, Washington day, but I bet he says, no, I guarantee this is the first time in history that a black woman has established her own court, and says now we're on our way to have her property restored.
Well, I'm sure that's what Carl Lentz says, because I mean, that how else is he going to make money selling this stuff?
All right. Yeah, well, it's not anything he sells. It's not. He doesn't have. Well, I mean,
He sells these packets to
he
people.
does, he does,
That's
he
his
does
whole
have
shtick.
something. He does have something. He does have something on his website for sale. But like how he's making his money, he's actually helping, couples. How he started was with getting his daughter back.
Right,
And
which he failed.
no, he actually got her. He failed for a few years, but he wouldn't give up and give in to the state, and finally got. And same thing with his son. It took him 6 years, but he got him back, and you know, he that's how he figured it out, is going all those years doing it himself. Now he's turning around and helping a lot of these women who, because a lot of times these children do get taken, out of a situation that necessarily they're really not in danger. And so, woman's distraught, wants her children back. Carl will look at the case, and if it's, this woman, is actually in good standing, deserves to have her kids, he helps them, get their kids back. So that's his mission, is what he started off doing, is, helping ladies get their kids back.
Well,
So,
I mean,
yes.
if he says that he was successful in getting his kids back, I would really love to see the evidence for
Well,
that.
like I said, he just
Beyond
sent me a
beyond
message,
him saying that he got his kids back.
What's that?
I would like to see more than just his word, because I don't trust a damn thing that he says.
All right. Well, you don't trust the damn thing that he says, then I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but so he just sent me a message saying he's not take calls tonight. So
I mean, that's
but if
fine.
you'd like, I set it up. You'd like to have him on and do a discussion with him. I'd like to see, maybe he'd like to do it. I don't know, but I do know that rights exist.
Mm-hmm.
I know that
course
I, as
they
a
do.
man, can, so and they don't stop existing when a cop's standing at my window. They don't cease to exist when an officer says, "Hey, I want to talk."
No one ever said that they stopped.
So
I mean, I don't know where I don't know where you got that straw man, but nobody ever said that your rights stop the moment a police stops you for a traffic violation. You have rights. The fact is, your problem is that you think that the laws don't apply to you when you are as a man, when you are as a so-called man, and I'm saying that there is no distinction in the law, in the eyes of the law, and I think that's where we have a fundamental disconnect. Is that the law applies to you whether or not you're whether you're on the clock or off the clock,
natural or unnatural,
because it's all the same damn thing. And unless you can show me otherwise, unless you can show me a court case or a statute that says otherwise, I'm going to say that that's the way the law works.
So you're saying that unless I find a law that says a driver doesn't mean man, driver means man?
A driver is a person.
Okay, so I'm not saying I'm a person, I'm saying man.
A man is a person.
A man can be a person. A man can be a person, or you know what? Here's another one for you. You want persons, you want this is another one that I couldn't believe.
A person includes a natural person, association,
when
corporation.
When I stand in the court as a defendant, as a driver, that's a person. Okay, it's a person within the legal industry. Okay, the legal
yeah,
it's a legal person.
You're a flesh and blood. A flesh and blood human being, aka legal person.
No.
Yes.
I'm a human being, maybe. Yeah, human being. I'm not a human being. I don't accept. I'm not a human being. I'm a man.
Again, a man is a human being. A woman is a human being. A man is a human being.
A
A
man is a
man,
man.
man and woman are natural persons.
A human and a man are two separate things.
No.
Human came about to describe a slave.
What
hue
the
to the skin.
I'm sorry, what?
Humans.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
Human.
Okay, this is a new one. Please explain this. I haven't
You're
heard this one yet.
You're a human. You have hue to your skin. You're a monster. Okay. You have no inherent blood. You can't own the land. That's what human meant. That's what human still means. So I don't associate with human.
No, a human. No, a human means a creature of the Homo sapiens scientific definition, aka you and me. And the lies of the law defines it as such. And there are two sexes. Well, that's that's gonna be triggering some people. But there's woman and then there's man, and they are both human beings. They're both humans. Unless you're going to tell me that you're an alien or a cyborg.
In your opinion, no, I'm not a cyborg. I'm a man.
Okay, then you are a human being. I know.
I'm a man. I'm not a human being.
The court is going to treat you as one and the same, and that's the problem.
Okay.
And you keep on saying that that's not the case, but I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this you in court right now. Your Honor, I'm not a human being. I'm a man, and the judge is going to look at you like you've gone insane, because every normal, rational individual in the courtroom is going to be, what the fuck is he talking about? Because they're one and the same.
Okay, that's your opinion.
It's not my opinion. It's not just the court opinions either. It's how many goddamn videos that have I seen of people with clandestine recordings of their court appearances where they try to tell the judge, "No, sir, I'm not a person. I am a Christian man." And the judge is like, "Okay, moving on." Because to him and to everybody else, it's like, you're not making a distinction here. And in the eyes of the law, there is no distinction. And that's what I'm trying to say. That's what a lot of other people are trying to say. And that's what and the reason, and here's the thing. Let's to bring it all back here. The reason why you got flooded was because there was one guy who found your video out and he spread it to others and others saw it. But the reason why I did this, the reason why I came out to you, is the problem is that other people, not you specifically, but other people like Carl Lentz sells this shit for profit. And I know damn well that he knows that it's bullshit. It does not work. And as a result, people lose their freedoms. People lose their houses. People get fined with back taxes or get sent into jail for contempt of court because they bought a $500 packet from a guru who thinks that all of this shit is genuine. And because they think that the attorney industry is out to get them. That's why I had to have a problem with this, and that's why I am very passionate about debunking this kind of bullshit, because it gets people in trouble, and it ruins people's lives when they rely on the advice of idiots who think that they have the secret sauce, the snake oil, legal snake oil to sell people. There, I'm off my pedestal. No, I'm done.
All right. All righty. Now that I know how you think, now that I know what you think, so yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna, continue on my route. I'm not, giving into the legal industry. I'm not giving in, to the state. I'm not gonna go cower to, their courts. I'm gonna continue to try to establish my own and exercise my rights.
Okay, that's fine. But I'll say, don't bitch when people call you out.
No, what I'm bitching about, I actually have right now. I'd show it to you, but I don't want the guy to see it and then actually call the police on me again and say that I'm breaking the protection order. But a guy actually went out and got a protection order against me for cyber stalking, cyber bullying, for mentioning him in a video.
Well, I don't know anything about that, because that's not something I do.
Dude, like I said, dude, how do you do that to another man? How do you go and claim to the judge that you're scared and keep your window shut at night because he freaking mentioned in a video? So now these, whoever's these people I know probably know who shared the video and try to get people going after the channel. Now it's like wait a minute, you said that I did that, and now it's like you doing. It's like, dude, it's like according to the state of Washington, I got a case on everybody that commented on my channel. It's like I mean, I've got the orders sitting right here. Surrender weapons, everything. Cyber stalking, cyberbullying. So, yeah.
But I don't know anything about that. What I am saying is that if you're going to go down this path of advocating for this theory, and I'm using that in big fuck off quotation marks, you are going to get called out, and not just by me, but by others.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't care about getting called out. That's, I mean, shoot, my subscription, subscriptions are still growing, so I don't mind. It even got me, a discussion with you, so I don't mind getting called out. What I just thought it was funny that I had a protection order filed on me, and then it's just like, dude, it's like I don't know. So I don't mind it. I'll never go down and get a protection order on you for a comment, or you do a video about me.
I don't do that either.
You already named it, but I'll never go down and get a protection order on you or anybody else for cyber stalking or cyberbullying. I don't care how bad of a comment you leave on my video. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I will never walk down to a judge. I will never stand in court. I will never point at you and say that I'm scared to keep my blinds closed because of a video or a comment you did,
Okay.
or made. So,
well, I know you're not. I assume you're not talking to me directly, because I don't think I made any comment that I would argue would be hostile. I thought I was very cordial in my offer.
I wasn't. I honestly,
but I
don't
assume you're
remember.
referring to other people on other people.
Right?
In the
Yeah,
comments.
all the other people. It's like all these. Some of these. I was like, dude. I was like, wow. I was like, my God. I was like.
Well, I mean, well, I know you're kind of you're still new in YouTube. Sadly, it's something you got to get used to, because I've gotten my fair share of it too. But that's something that welcome to the internet.
It comes with the territory. I know that, but it's it's just I'm just, because I know the people that that who are pretty much behind it. Not the exact person, but I just thought, I was like, dude, what the I just thought it was funny. I was like, I don't mind it, but don't go out and get a freaking protection order. Against me for making a video and mention your name.
Like I said, I don't know anything about that, so
yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and show you the order and let I don't want to I don't want to honestly show you the order and say, hey, look, here it is, and then get police at my door saying, hey, you broke the protection order by showing the protection order on a video type of thing. So, but yeah, that's.
Well, I mean, I don't know where we can go from here. I mean, I think we are definitely at a fundamental disagreement here on
I understand
the issues of driving. I guess what I was hoping for, one of your titles said that you say that the Supreme Court supported your
everybody
case.
was nailing the Supreme Court, so I was just like, that was just the thumbnail. That was just I was just
You're trying to clickbait.
Yeah, that was just a clickbait. I was gonna back it up. I was all these people, like, people copy and paste, and these comments are mile long. Like, I don't even read them. It's like, oh my God.
Hey, so, you know what? I respect your honesty on that. I respect your honesty there. But okay, that's fine. I mean, we clearly have a fundamental disagreement, and but if you're going to be able to get a hold of Carl Lentz, I would love to talk to him personally too. So definitely let me know if that happens. But I think I'm going to close out here.
Will. He had a problem with one of his animals, so he had to take it to the vet. So he didn't gonna be on tonight. So, but he's usually on every night. He's got a couple guys on. He's usually having a discussion himself. He's about to come back on YouTube, get some hopefully a kind of talk show kind of thing going, and kind of teach the stuff. So But yeah, I'll be talking to him the next day or two, and then I'll get back with you, and we'll get something else going.
Absolutely. Sounds good, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you
All
coming
right.
out.
Yeah, absolutely. Have
Yep.
a good one.
Take care. Wow. Okay. Well, I thought that was lively. Man, I guess, I mean, I don't know what I was expecting. Yeah, I think I lost it the moment that he said that yeah, I think I lost it when he said that you could just go into a Walmart, take a 4K Ultra HD, walk out, and Walmart can't do shit to you. Because they, they can't own property, man. Woo! My goodness. Yeah, I do need a drink. But damn, I think the stores are closed by now. Yeah, New Jersey sucks. Oh, well, I do have some rum remaining. I might have to take that up. But yeah, that was fun. Oh my god. Okay, root words. Okay, you keep saying that you won anything. Bruh. You didn't win shit. Alright. I think the best part of our discussion, man, was you thinking that Baltimore had anything to do with the Balkans or the Baltics, and that the Netherlands was like in the Baltic Sea. What the fuck, man? Come on. Come on, man. Come on. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna wind it down. I'm gonna need some water after that discussion, but whoo! I'm gonna have to take a look at this afterwards and see what happens and see where we go from there. But yeah, I don't know if I don't know if you guys know who Carl Lentz is. He's pretty infamous, but I do now that I think about it, it seems like he has like kind of gone away, in the past 6 months to a year. But I felt like he was pretty infamous in the Sovsik guru circles in like 2017, and 2018, and then now he's apparently trying to make a comeback. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right, you guys, I appreciate you coming on. If that Carl Lentz thing happens, I'll let y'all know, of course. And I hope you guys have a good Saturday. Have a good night. And take care. Adios. Oh, and y'all, don't make this the more thing into a race thing. It's fucking stupid. I have to say that. All right. Have a good night, guys. Later.